Morning, everybody. So today I'm going to talk about business sales. We're involved in a number of transactions at the moment at different stages, but it's been a case for a while that there's plenty of money available looking for good businesses to buy. And that's been the situation for a few years. So I guess not surprisingly, with interest rates very low and with inflation eroding the values of cash, people are looking to buy businesses. They're looking for places to put their cash, but they're not able to find enough good businesses to acquire. So I just wanted to reflect on those, what makes your business valuable, and try and keep it simple as I do. It comes down to three key things, which I then split into each of those into two. So I guess six things that I think you need to think about. And I'm not going to apologise for starting with the accounts, because any buyer, any prospective buyer is going to ask to look at your numbers, PDQ. So what do the numbers need to show? They need to show good profit and cash generation, and they need to be robust. If you're going through a sales process, the buyer is going to rip your accounts to shreds. They are just going to tear them apart if they can. So they need to be robust. You need to know that they're accurate and reliable. So that's kind of a given. And you're all thinking, I'm an accountant, so I am going to say that, but it's fundamental ultimately to getting the deal completed, but also to the valuation of the business. So starting with the finance, we talked about the historic numbers. The other thing I think is really important is budgets and forecasting. So we need to be able to show a history of preparing rigorous forecasts and budgets, and then either meeting them or beating them. And again, your buyer will be looking at your future forecast. We're looking at your pipeline, yes, but looking at your future forecast to see how the business is likely to be performing over the next 3 to 5 years. So that's important. So those are the two things I think that fall under the finance head. The next head I look at is what I'm going to call resources. And again, this is divided into two. So one side of this, I think, is the management team. So if you're selling your business, it's very likely you're going to want to retire either straight away or within 2 or 3 years maximum. Now, that may sound like quite a long period when you're selling a business, but if you're selling to a PLC, larger organization, they may look for that kind of length of handover. Often it is shorter than that, to be fair, less than 12 months. But the point here I'm trying to make is that you need a good management team in place, and ideally, you need to be working to make yourself redundant in your business. The business can run without you because you're not going to be there post sale. So the management team is really important. And I think the other side of resources that we've seen, having done a number of deals over the years, is actually whether you're investing some of the cash you're generating in maintaining the quality and the standard of the other stuff you need in the business. So maybe it's a factory, maybe it's machinery, maybe it's a fleet of vans, maybe it's computer kit. So certainly when we've been doing some acquisitions, we've looked at this and we've found actually, we're going to have to buy the business. And the first thing we're going to have to do is invest a six-figure sum and bring in all the equipment and everything else up to date, up together. So that's really important. It's interesting when you're thinking about sale that you can sometimes start focusing on that and stop investing in the business. So I think that's really important, that you carry on investing in the business, and the business you're presenting to the buyer is really fit for purpose and has all the kit up to date, ready to run when they step into your shoes. So that's the second one. And I think the third one, it really is about the market. So you need to be in a market that's either very stable or growing. It needs to be a large market. And this is what we see, the businesses that are demanding the higher multiples are where the markets are growing or where they're very long established and stable markets. So the buyer can see that there's a future for this business. So, clearly there are products that become obsolete. People no longer necessarily buy the same things that they did 10 years ago. So you need to understand what your market is and where you are. So things, accountancy practices generally retain good value because there's lots of businesses that need accounting support. That's just an example. Recruitment at the moment, recruitment agencies, I think, are are a sweet spot. There's shortage of people. There's lots of vacancies, so there's lots of work to be done in recruitment. But I could go on and on. There are plenty of markets that are attractive, and ideally, if you're not in one currently, you need to be manoeuvring yourself into one, and you certainly need to be making sure that your product remains relevant and it's not becoming obsolete. That's the market in general, and I think within that, then it's important to understand where you are in the market. Do you have a niche? Um, are you growing your market share? So again, if you're growing your market share or growing your business within a market that's growing, then obviously that becomes a very valuable business. So I think it's understanding the market that you're in, and then understanding your place in the market, what your differentiator is, how it is that you're winning business over and above competitors. So those, I think, are 6 core things, really 3 heads and each divided into 2, as I said, but 6 core things you really need to think about, and what you need to be doing in your business over the next 3 to 5 years. If you're not able to tick all those boxes now, the actions that you need to be taking, because you will make your business much more valuable if you focus on those areas. So thank you for listening. Catch up again soon.